The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Now Michelle, call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Stidham on 2nd down, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Certainly not what they wanted defensively. We're hoping to hold them to a field goal. Instead, they're able to convert the 3rd and long here on the opening drive.
So not only was it a flipping field position and a flipping fortunes, but how about mentally? You just described it. They were hoping to force them into a field goal there. Instead, they give up the big gain, and now it's 1st and goal. The offense has got them on their heels.
3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. To throw is Stidham. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we've got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant. Check.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it's caught by Parker. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his third touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On second down, here's Stidham. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Stidham. His throw incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Got a man. It's Brown. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
2nd and 2. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 43. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. 2nd quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Ready to go. Ready.
On 1st down, Drake. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Nice 7. Fair. Cut. Sit up. Like, Steve Griffin.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that. Because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well. All right, if you're kicking field goals, that's great. But your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get 6s. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia, I'm trying to erase this deficit. Now Stidham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse.
And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for the Dolphins. 43 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, you know, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. in this amount of time. I think it was a two-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Second down, Stidham to throw, and it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You got it.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
This is fielded at the 27. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready to go.
2nd and 3. Sliding out of the pocket toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And he hits Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Let's go. Now Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can...
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Hey, Stu! Hey, lock it!
He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Stitt. And this is caught inside the 5.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it. It pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own? Or maybe the analytics coach got involved. And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Samson Abukum. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Hey, Orbit. Ready?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going deep here for Still. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 47 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and run with Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
They go play action with Stidham. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On third down, Stidham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, that you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going deep here for Stills. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line.
We got this.
A big play there for the Dolphins. 44 yards.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Go. 95, Mike. Watch 95. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? Now.
Counter play, Drake. And some space here. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 24 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken near the 13. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple of extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. On 1st down, Stidham. This will be caught by Brown. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. He's going to have the hook up to Izzo. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stidham. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st.
70, Indy. Here we go. Check 52's the mark.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Stidham to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
This defense continues to be good on third down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run with Drake.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On second down, it's Drake. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let this go deep. Back, and that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for New England, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.